Is the Joint Base Lewis-McChord the target of terrorists inspired by the recent events in Afghanistan?
That's the concern of the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. King 5's Linda Brill will have reaction from Joint Base Lewis-McChord. But first we turn to King 5's Glenn Farley with more about the Bulletin. Glenn.
Well, bottom line, Gene, is there was enough going on over in Afghanistan for the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security to issue this kind of document to 18,000 law enforcement agencies around the U.S. It's called a Joint Intelligence Bulletin issued by the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. And it comes in the wake of the killing of 16 Afghan civilians, allegedly by a Joint Base Lewis-McChord staff sergeant last weekend. That followed the inadvertent burning of Korans by U.S. military personnel weeks earlier. That set off massive protests in the country. The question posed by the FBI, could those cases motivate someone for religious reasons to attack a U.S. military installation? Though the document does not specifically cite Joint Base Lewis-McChord as a target.
It is one that isn't responding to any credible threat information.
Ein Sandalo Dietrich is with the Seattle FBI.
Just making sure that our law enforcement partners are aware of the same kind of possibilities as we are. Again, no specific credible threat information.
We've seen allegations of specific threats against Lewis-McChord before. Last summer, 2 men were arrested for plotting first against the big base, a plot that later settled on this military recruitment station in Seattle, a case involving 2 Muslim men the FBI says were motivated by the wars in the Middle East.
The enemies of Islam, they continue to trample on our religion.
Abdul Khalid Abdul Latif is still awaiting trial in that case. The FBI says it never intended for this bulletin to become public.
This is just going to cause hysteria in our communities.
Arsalan Bukhari is with the Council on American Islamic Relations.
I think this is just something that's being done without evidence, and it's going to cause possible undue focus on American Muslims.
Now, Arsalan Bukhari with the Council says that the track record for the American Muslim community is very good. They've cooperated with law enforcement before, including cooperating with the FBI. And they say 4,000 Muslims have served successfully in the U.S. military during this time. The FBI says it was not trying to target the Muslim community. Live in Seattle, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.